Joe Brady, the new head coach for the Buffalo Bills, he is the person who sees something in Keon Coleman. You know what I mean? In which he is willing to go to bat for Keon Coleman and keep him around in Buffalo. I guess as long as as long as he can. You know, Joe Brady, the new head coach, you know, he hopes to bring the best out of Keon Coleman if he is going to be a part of the team. You know,
Hey, if you seen earlier, like when the all season first started, the general, not the general manager, but the owner was saying like that wasn't my pick. Talking about Keon Coleman. So I guess Joe Brady was on his coaching staff, so that probably been his guy the whole time inside the draft.
right. Yeah.
Hmm.
So the evidence is coming out, and Joe Brady, he is the one that went to bat for Keon Coleman. Maybe everybody knew that Keon Coleman work ethic would be an issue heading into the NFL, but Joe Brady saw something different, and he wanted to go to bat for Keon Coleman and bring him to Buffalo. Obviously, for obvious reasons, you know, he's a part of the offense, and Josh Allen needs a big play receiver. So let's get into this article. You know, let's get into it. Bills, Joe Brady reveals fiery message to Keon Coleman immediately after becoming head coach. Brady, who admitted he was the Bills' main advocate for Coleman at the 2024 NFL draft, said the 22-year-old was one of his first calls after receiving the promotion. The first-year head coach revealed that he told Coleman he is the best thing to happen to him, and he is committed to reviving his career in 2026. That is a big deal, man. Y'all don't understand, as a player trying to find himself in the NFL, to have a coach ready and willing to go to bat for you. It means a lot to a lot of players, man. You just can't take it for granted. You know, Joe Brady says, I stood on the table for Keon Coleman, Brady said on CBS Sports. I told Keon as soon as I got hired, the best thing to happen to you is me being your head coach. The faith I have in you, we're going to make it work together. I know the quarterback has the confidence in him. And he's talking about Josh Allen. Said there's a lot of pressure that comes with being the top pick, and I'm understanding of that. But I'm also understanding that I was the one that wanted him. And I'm going to do everything I can to work with him to make it work. He has all the talent. When you see him out there and he's making plays, good things happen. I love him, and I want the best for him. Hey, clap it up for Joe Brady, man. Clap it up for Joe Brady,
So
man.
he is the one.
He, he is the one. He is the one. He is the one that was pretty much the deciding factor for Keon Coleman coming and being a Buffalo Bill. And now he needs to make this draft pick pan out, you know. But also, he's also telling Keon Coleman he is blessed that he became the head coach. Otherwise, his days in Buffalo are numbered, or would have been
Hmm.
numbered. You know what I mean?
Not even in Buffalo, but his chances overall, because once the word got out, he missing games because his disciplinary problems and stuff like that. Word spreads like nobody not gonna give him a chance, but now he
Word
got that
spread,
chance.
word spreads around fast in the NFL, and like Dree said, man, other team would instantly know the issue that was going on with Keon Coleman, and that would pretty much put blackball him or put a stigma to his name, and
Mhm.
teams would be scared to make him a quality pick for the team, or a pickup in free agency, a trade, or whatever. And they would rather wait till, he's not a quality pick. Someone the team doesn't have to invest much time or guarantee money into, you know what I mean? But I like Keon Coleman. And I do see that he has tons of ability, but he was never a big producing wide receiver in his college days. You know, he was only a top pick because of his ability to make those tough acrobatic catches on deep passes. And that's what piqued the Buffalo Bills' interest in picking Keon Coleman, you know.
Mhm.
And I believe Keon Coleman got away with being a really good player, a really good athlete, just off of talent alone and no discipline. There's a lot of players that make it all the way to the promised land, but can't seize the moment because they're used to thriving off of just the talent and ability alone, and they haven't been used to the discipline make someone forcing and making them work hard, and that's
All
what
right.
I see in Keon Coleman. The young dude, man. Y'all see, man, we love him, man. We love his energy. He's very entertaining. He's fun to watch and all of those things. But yeah, after Keon Coleman entered the NFL, he found out, his talent alone wasn't good enough. So now when that happens to a player, they instantly try to adjust because they're confused and they don't understand what's happening because their entire life, their entire career, they got away with their talent alone and making it. And right now, Keon Coleman is trying to figure things out, right? And to be honest, time isn't on his side, but he does have the coach on the side, you know? And talent
Yeah.
will only take you so far without work ethic, man, without work ethic to back it up. If you
Man,
just rely on talent alone, that's when you see players become just another guy.
we gotta see his response though. We see the coach got his back. We gotta see if he gonna be able to step up to the plate and put that work in and not just try to go off that natural talent again. And
Yeah.
just because the coach got his back, don't try to, somebody like these younger players are like baby. You know that, we all know that. So don't try to
Mhm.
baby him. Make sure he work hard and become that receiver that Joe Brady seen from the beginning.
That's
But
the
it's
that's
up to him. It's up to
that's
him. He
it's
got to
up to
decide.
it's up to Keon Coleman. He has the size, he has the ability. He has the size, he has the ability. But for Keon Coleman, his issue becomes when it's time to create separation. When it's man-to-man coverage and they're up in his face, press coverage, and it's not just a go ball or a post or a pass 30 yards down the football field. He got to get open on 3rd and 5 in the intermediate areas, around the linebackers and just up in the intermediate area. That's where he had the issue at. And it's fun for receivers just to go deep, right? And just run deep, throw the ball up, and give them advantage to have more of an advantage to come down with the deep passes because they're seeing the football rather than the cornerback seeing the football. And yeah, that's cool. But when it's time to earn your money, get open on a slant when it's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 5, and man-to-man coverage, that's where Keon Coleman lacks in the NFL or his abilities. But that's something, little work ethic. Joe Brady installing that mindset of being a great player, things can change. Like I said, I like Keon Coleman. He has a lot of ability. And I think he can overcome this situation that is transpiring, with him
Okay.
concerning his work ethic and things like that. I like him, man. I like him.
Yeah,
He's a young mind. He's a young
you'll
man.
believe it. You'll believe it right now, man. You get
Yeah.
that they give them more confidence. He hear this, he's gonna boost his confidence even more, man. Put that work in, be like, all right, they believing in me. I got this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
That's what, like you said, man. Like during the season, I was hard on Keon Coleman, and I called him a bust, right? I called him a bust. But like we're seeing and we're talking about, Joe Brady he has a new head coach. He was the one responsible for drafting him, so we'll see how that goes. Things can change, right? And I remember Chris Carter, man, and I gave Chris Carter hell, talking about Ocho Cinco, but he was in Philadelphia at first, and things didn't pan out. He had a lot of issues and up and downs, trying to adjust to the NFL, the fame, the money, and he, had to deal with an addiction. And then he left Philadelphia Eagles, realized that his journey to the NFL could possibly be over with if he didn't get his mind right. And what did you know? It became a great success story. Got to the Minnesota Vikings, became a mentor to Randy Moss, and built the Hall of Fame career and known as the best hands in football, as well as one of the best route runners. So things, you can overcome your, your deficiencies in the NFL or as a professional if you have the right team and the right circumstances around you. And if Joe Brady went to bat for him, hopefully that's the situation. But we
Mm.
only time will tell. But here we go, man. After 2 seasons, Keon Coleman, here is his career stats. Here are his career stats after 2 seasons. Keon Coleman hasn't reached 1,000 yards receiving after 2 seasons. That's not good.
Not at
That's not
all.
good. And like I said, it shows that he wants to get the football deep. That's his thing, you know. It's like, man, he'll make some plays, man. And every now and then, you know, you throw it up. Anybody can, any wide receiver can, basically. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And like I said, if he can't create separation in man-to-man coverage, it's going to be hard for him to pan out. There's only so much an offensive coordinator can do to get wide receivers open and force the football to them. And that's when you see wide receivers get frustrated. That's what I see in DK Metcalf all the time. When he's in man-to-man coverage and those bigger cornerbacks, Patrick Surtain, Joey Porter Jr. are up in his face and they putting them hands on him because he can't get off the line of scrimmage and create separation, get real frustrated. And they don't know how to overcome what is happening to them. So they just get frustrated, act like they want to fight, and that's what happens, you know?
Mhm. Damn, man, Josh Allen was MVP one of those seasons too, and not to have 1,000 yards is like in 17 games is crazy.
And for me, 1,000 yards is not the 1,000 yards it used to be back in the days when
Mhm.
you was playing 15 and 16 games. Now we're playing 17 and 18 games, and you still don't have 1,000 yards receiving after 2 seasons, you know?
And your quarterback was MVP of
And
the
your
league.
quarterback, like you said, was MVP of the league. That was, you know, obviously you wasn't a part of the equation, and your quarterback wasn't too fond of your childishness. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
to be honest, you know, Keon Coleman numbers haven't changed pretty much since college. Like we said, with more games in the NFL, he's still
Mhm.
putting up pretty much the same amount of production he did in college. Like I said, that's not good at all. You playing about 5, 6, or 7 more games, and you're putting up pretty much the same numbers you did when they drafted you.
I
But
think this is
hopefully, huh?
no, I'm saying this might be the last straw right here. This is Joe Brady put his all behind him, and then he come up short again. It might be it for him. I
Yeah,
don't
it
think nobody.
definitely
I don't
will
think
be it.
nobody's gonna give him a chance.
Yeah, I mean, you will be a journeyman after that, man. You don't want to make it to that point in your career where you become a journeyman and you're hoping that people give you an opportunity, you know, and you have a chance to make the NFL or make a team. When you become a journeyman, you might not even have a chance to make the team. You're just there to practice and be a body for the organization during training camp. So you got to
Mhm.
watch out, man. You don't want to make it to that to that part of your career too early. You know, if you're trying to steal some
Mhm.
years later on, you know, and get year 13 and 14, you know, get a little more insurance money, some severance pay. You know what I mean?
He was first round. I can't remember. He was first round.
Yeah, he was first
First.
round. He was a late first rounder. The Buffalo Bills. He came out of nowhere, man. Like I said, he was in Florida State. He had transferred from Michigan State, but you know, I remember watching Florida State and wondering who this guy was, right? Because he was a talent that came out of nowhere, and I wasn't familiar with him. And
Mhm.
boom, man, I was impressed. You know, I took a liking to him, and then you know I found out his personality and his backstory behind him, and seeing how serious he took the game, and it wasn't up to par. You know, but
Right.
Joe Brady, man, we got faith in you, Joe Brady. Make this Keon Coleman make him become a #1 receiver for Josh Allen, man, and teach him how to run routes, man. Teach him how to get open. That's the main thing. He needs to learn how to create separation and understand every pass isn't going to go deep and expect you to make a great acrobatic catch. You got to beat the coverage and get open. That's the name of the game in NFL, man. So